Hey, you blink, I'll cut your eyelids off. Don't you blink. I got you. Let's go.
And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Steelers Steelers regular season game day edition here of the Mass Steel podcast. We are counting down right now. The Steelers are looking to get closer to getting into the playoffs right now. Just give everyone a quick heads up real quick on the scoreboard as we take a look at things right now. Before I went on the air right here, last I know that the Titans, they are currently leading the Jaguars 7-0 with over 7 minutes left to go. Dolphins on top of the Chiefs 10-7 in the second quarter. And right now, later on at 3:05 p.m. Central Standard Time will be the Las Vegas Raiders hosting the Indianapolis Colts there. So just to recap, everyone, for the Steelers to clinch a wild card playoff berth, they need either of these scenarios to happen prior to their game tonight. The way that could happen today is if they have right now either a Raiders, well, for right now, currently, either a Dolphins or Titans loss, or if not, a Raiders loss. And right now, the Steelers have a 3-game lead over the Dolphins. If the Dolphins were to lose, if they do go on to lose today to the Kansas City Chiefs, the Steelers will simply clinch the tiebreaker over the Dolphins because their strength of victory tiebreaker. Steelers own that tiebreaker. Their strength of victory is 409. Dolphins at 269, so that would clinch that. Then you also got right now where the Steelers have a 4-game lead over the Raiders. Simply put, they just need one game, either a Raiders loss or Steelers win. That pretty much put the Steelers right into the playoffs right there. So they just need one game of either a Raiders loss or a Steelers win tonight. That will take care of that. And then also, too, remember, if the Titans do go on to lose right now, they are leading in Jacksonville, as I just reminded you. Remember, the Steelers did beat the Titans head-to-head. But one other thing to pay attention to, too, one other tiebreaker, in case anyone's wondering, not that it matters, but here's where the Steelers also have the edge over the Titans in this regard. If they lose, they would drop to 6-5. So Steelers not only would own a head-to-head tiebreaker, but they would definitely have the best conference record over them. Steelers could lose no more than 4 games, lose no worse than 4. They could just go 8-4 for the year, while the Titans, the best they could finish up is at 7-5. So right now we're kicking off this edition here of the Mass Steel podcast. Once again, you can definitely follow me on my social media on Twitter and Instagram, as I always say, at Prodigy Richey for the Mass Steel podcast. On Twitter, it is at Mass Steel CGR. On Instagram, it is at Mass Steel Nations. We are getting ready to deliver this day right now. Steelers looking to wrap up things, looking to be back in the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. If the Steelers are able to get into the playoffs this year, it'll be their 32nd trip to the postseason as we look at right now. As we take a look as far as like the playoff totals, the Packers are currently number 1 with 33, followed by the Cowboys. Cowboys doesn't appear they're going to make it safe to stay. Giants currently right now have 32 playoff appearances. Steelers rank 4th on the list with 31. So if they make it in, this will be their 32nd playoff appearance. They'll temporarily tie the New York Giants in the Meadowlands. So right now, so got a lot of some interesting stuff to get to right now as we get ready to move a little bit forward here for this. Definitely an interesting situation where the Steelers haven't been in a long time right now, controlling their own destiny, to say the least. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, and that's all you can really do at this point. I mean, you already did everything that you were supposed to do. The good news, I mean, for the Steelers this past Monday, it was a non-conference opponent. That does help things in the end. But I think for right now, the biggest thing to concentrate right now is trying to wrap up this division. That is the key thing right now where we need to not be dismissive about, because the Steelers right now, the Browns are really turning some heads right now, I got to believe. And they haven't been in a situation where they've been in a long time. Just really feeding off some confidence right now. I mean, you got Kevin Stefanski really having this group buy into what he's been doing here. I think it also has to go back to start with Myles Garrett. I made the comment to Brian Diardo of CBS that I really put Myles Garrett and the similarity to Mean Joe Green, what he is to the Browns franchise, as what Mean Joe was to the Steelers. Okay, up here. So we'll continue to see what happens right there. But yeah, I mean, you just got a lot of interesting stuff right now going into this game. I think the biggest butterfly about this game, as we're learning into this game, the good news is for the Steelers going into tonight's game. Yeah, I'm up here. I'm up here. Okay. So the Steelers, according to Joe Ruther of Trib Live, they activated Ulysses Gilbert from injury reserve, and they promoted T.J. Skills from the practice squad on Saturday. Avery Williams, remember, who was acquired in a trade with the Jets on November 2nd. He converted safety to safety. Mark Allen are the other inside linebackers on the roster. To make room for Gilbert on the 53-man roster, the Steelers placed inside linebacker Robert Spillane on injured reserve. The latest, his season is not done. Just to give you guys a heads up. Remember, it's up to 3 weeks. The latest he could be eligible to return will be in the finale against the Browns. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will not come down to a game for the division. But, I mean, you never know at this point. And this is where we stand at right now as we look for the Steelers to get things ramped up here. Obviously, I mean, the story of the week, too. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, look at all things around right now. There's been a lot of mysteries about, like, how this offense has been run right now. When you look at a guy like Randy Fichtner, who's in his 3rd straight season, I mean, right now, controlling, I mean, basically this offense right now. You had Matt Canada, who I felt really did some creative things with the offense. But at the end of the day, too, I mean, I just kind of like leave and scratch my head is, I mean, some of these plays that were designed to kind of like help make the offense a lot easier on Ben Roethlisberger, it's not been happening. I mean, and just the scary thing is about the running game, too. I mean, we already knew the offensive line was already kind of like in shambles, even back to when you had like Le'Veon Bell. They were not top 10 in those last few years when he was there. And you just really just start to see how everything just continues to, unravel for the offensive line. I mean, the only good thing about the offensive line, I mean, just thank God, is that they are doing a good job of protecting Roethlisberger. I mean, coming off that throwing elbow surgery, I mean, I definitely do tend to think that right now that his chances right now, I mean, when we take a look at the season, is that it's slipping away as far as being comeback player of the year and maybe his MVP chances. But I got to tell you right now, I really do believe right now, this is Ben Roethlisberger, once again, his MVP shining moment to prove that. I mean, aside from just getting like that 3rd and elusive Super Bowl ring, I think you want to show that you can still put a team on your back and carry this load, because that's really what's going to be coming down to. I mean, what it's going to take here, I mean, going into games like this. I mean, you have a running game, which they have not trusted right now. James Conner, remember, he's missed the last 2 games due to being on reserve COVID list, along with Marquise Pouncey. Be interested to see how Pouncey, I mean, how much of an effect he's going to have on that offensive line, just being a presence there. Because Hassenauer, I think, did all okay. But at the same time, too, I definitely do feel like the attitude on that line was a little bit lax days ago here. I mean, when you really, truly look at things right now, I mean, a year ago, I mean, to state the obvious, I mean, you didn't have Ben Roethlisberger against this Bills team. I definitely do feel like Ben Roethlisberger would have been the difference in that game should he have came back. Instead, you had Duck Hodges in there right now. And you look at this offense right now, and here are some of the positives about this offense right now, aside from that. I mean, I know the red zone has been taking a dip, but they're 12th in that category right now, converting 27 to 43 for 63%. They're doing enough to control the time of possession, which is ranks 3rd in the league. The Bills are 8th in that category. And then not only that, too, but touchdowns. Ben Roethlisberger right now, he's got 27 touchdowns throughout this whole season, which ranks 6th in the league. I mean, so those are the very good points right there you can bring up about a guy like Ben Roethlisberger in his comeback tour here. The only thing is right now, what we have to be a little bit concerned with is it getting to the point right now where defenses are really starting to call out the Steelers' plays? I mean, I think that kind of happened last week. You saw against the Washington football team right there. And I really believe, I mean, some of these passes that he's doing, the play action, I mean, it's just these quick slants right here. They're easily getting tipped. And you got to really like slam the brake on here and have a little bit more of a proper discipline on that. Because other than that, I do believe this Steelers team right now, they got the makings of a Super Bowl team. I'm not going to really necessarily press the panic button on this team right now, but I definitely do feel like they got a lot of concerns and looking in the mirror right now. I mean, with the loss, I mean, you figure Mike Tomlin would have had a lot of things corrected. I mean, despite the fact that they won that game against the Ravens by 5 points, but don't forget that defense was dominating that game. I think the only thing that did see get pop up here, some of the nagging issues, was how, I mean, they're able to group run on the Steelers defense, forcing guys like the secondary and the corners to come out and tackle. I mean, and right there, they're able to block better. They're not doing a better job blocking. I think that's the biggest thing where the Steelers are hurting is blocking. I got a few comments on here right now. Games with tip balls at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Ryan, right there. I mean, that has definitely been a disturbing trend for a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, who seemed to be doing real well coming back. I mean, a game manager, but at the same time, too, I mean, many would argue, how much are you really allowing Ben Roethlisberger to take control of this offense, not have too much trust in the running game and some other creative plays? I think that definitely does continue to be a continuous theme here at the end of the day. I mean, for all this. I mean, as we really look at it and for everything that's been going on right now, I do feel that the Steelers right now, the only thing I could say, you could control your own destiny right here. Steelers have no losses in the conference. The Chiefs do have one loss in the conference as we re-look at the NFL standings right now as of late here. Going into this contest, you got the Chiefs right now in the AFC. Right now, their conference record is 9-1, while the Steelers are 8-0. So with a win tonight, I mean the Steelers will remain the top dog in the AFC. But you do got a key game right here against the Dolphins. Real quick, let's do a quick little scoreboard update and see how that game is continuing to go right now. With that in Miami in South Beach. Right now, Chiefs are marching right now. It is 3rd and 1 at the Dolphins 34. And then when you truly look at it, and two, I got a question here. Why has Claypool been targeted less last few games? Johnson and Ebron, too many balls. Claypool should be targeted more. That's true. We also got a guy like a James Washington who's really worked his butt off too. I mean, in this offense, who Ben Roethlisberger has been going to bat for, really wanted to get this guy a lot more involved, which I really think. Because here at the end of the day, too, I mean, Johnson, I definitely agree. I mean, he's right now at this point in time here. When you look at it, he does lead the team in drops. Claypool's third on that list with 4. And Ebron has been a little bit disappointed. But you look at a guy like James Washington right now, he's only got 3 drops on the year. And he's been targeted 42 times. So 39 for 42. While a guy like Deontay Johnson right now, who's got like 65, who's been targeted 106 times, 65 receptions here. So, I mean, those are some big differences right there. I think James Washington right now, I mean, he's been a guy who's been putting his work in. Obviously, he's 5th on the team as far as like receiving yards, is 343, but amongst the receivers group, he is 4th. And has only got 4 touchdowns right now. So I expect him to continue to get the heat up right there. But I mean, at the same time, too, I definitely do think maybe it's a issue. Who knows? But I will say this right now. I mean, Steelers have no excuse, in my opinion, to like not wrap up this AFC North. I mean, the Browns, I mean, you can't blame them for taking care of what they had to do the last couple of weeks. They've been winning hot as of late. I mean, when you look at the overall, the Browns, this regard right here, who've really been impressed with people under Stefanski. I mean, look at their last couple of games. I mean, since everything's been going on, I mean, with their ball club, since their last loss to the Raiders, they have been 4-0, defeating teams like the Texans, the Eagles, the Jaguars, and the Titans right there. Four though, and I really gotta say the real impressive win was against the Titans, despite the fact they almost let that slip away. But I gotta tell you right now, tomorrow, Monday night, I'll be having King of Golfer Pittsburgh Sports, Stan Stabbard. He'll be joining me tomorrow afternoon on the Men's Duel podcast. We'll be discussing reactions to tonight's game, as well as the Steelers' future in the playoffs going forward right now, as far as divisional hosts, and as far as if they could hold on to a bye, which is a big thing right now. So we'll definitely see how that continues to go right now. I mean, other than that, but yeah, I definitely do feel like right now it is time really keep an eye on what you got in front of you here. Other than that, going into this game, Gilbert, who has been on injury reserve since November 4th with a back injury, he was inactive for 5 of the first 7 games this season. Scales spent the 2019 training camp with the Steelers, and he was signed to the practice squad in November. I think the biggest story of this game, too, like on defense right now, when you're going to be without guys, which you've already been without. I mean, Devin Bush, Robert Spillane. I mean, Robert Spillane, who's filled in solidly for Devin Bush. And you got Joe Hayden, who was in concussion protocol. He's going to be marked out today's game. I mean, so those are some hits right there, no doubt about it. But I definitely do feel like right now where the defense is going to be challenged, I would have to probably more so say it's going to probably be in their pass coverage, I would say. I think if more than anything. So you're going to be definitely putting a little bit more extra pressure on the guys like Steven Nelson or Hilton here going into this game against Bills. I mean, let's say Josh Allen has definitely got a lot of like Ben Roethlisberger like to him. I mean, in this contest. I mean, the way he's able to run and just be able to pass the ball here, and what he's been able to do. I mean, Josh Allen, at the end of the day, I mean, who comes into this league right now, he is in his 3rd year. And this is his 3rd year as a starter. He's got a winning record at 24-15. And you know what? And to be honest with you, Ryan, I do think this is going to be the game right here. I do feel like the Steelers can have another signature win. I really do believe so. The only thing is we gotta be careful right now. The scary thing is this may have to come down to the Steelers' offense. I think the biggest story in this game is can they control the clock once again, which they've been doing pretty well all season by running the ball, moving the chains, and also gain some third down conversions. Because right now, third down conversions right now, they're 6th in that area and got 6-4 first downs for the year. And that's what we'll find out going into this game right now. The Buffalo Bills, they're 8th in point score rate. I mean, in points scored with 333, and they're 10th in total offense. And top 5 in pass yards for this contest. But you know what the thing is, too, aside from that, you flip things on here on the other side of it, on the defensive side here. The Steelers are still doing a good job in stuffing opponents at the line of scrimmage at 25.5%, while the Bills are about 20% right now. Also, too, Dale Lally of DK Pittsburgh Sports, he knows that Joe Hayden for the Steelers this week. Aside from no Joe Hayden, Chase Claypool and Chris Boswell, they are a go for tonight. So that'd be one interesting thing. We'll continue to see how Boswell is able to go. Remember, he missed the last game due to a hip injury right there. A lot of people were questioning why you didn't have your last kicker, if Matthew Wright it was, who didn't attempt a field goal late in that game against Washington. And instead, they decided to go for a wheel route on a 4th-1 to Anthony McFarland, as pointed out by Bob Papiani. So let's see what happens with that. TJ Watt looking to make his case right now. He's currently second in the league in sacks right now with 12. Aaron Donald has a half a sack more. With a sack on Sunday Night Football, he'll become the sixth player since 1990 with at least 13 sacks in 3 consecutive seasons, according to Missy Matthews. Here are the other men he'd be joining on that list, the other 5. Reggie White, who had 4 consecutive years, Garris Sasol and Super Bowl champion Hall of Famer of the Eagles and Packers. Jared Allen right now, who has 3. Simon Fletcher with 3. Chandler Jones 3. And Derek Thomas with 3. And we'll continue to see how this pans out for this. Let's go ahead and get the keys of the game going for this game tonight. Key number 1 for tonight's game. I'm going to say don't allow Josh Allen to escape the pocket. He is 8th among quarterbacks in rush yards with 322 yards on the ground and 3rd amongst quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns. He's got 6 for the year. So those are the dynamics right there. To keep this guy in the pocket, I mean, kind of just do like what he did with Lamar Jackson. I think they definitely got a legit shot right here. Got to contain him, not allow him to scramble. Also, too, key number 2, speaking of quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger versus the Bills secondary. You got Tre'Davious White, who is 8th in total takeaways with 3 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries, while Jordan Poyer is 29th with 2 interceptions. So those are going to be keys right there. Staying away from their secondary and guys who do like create turnovers on the defense. I mean, I think those are some things to definitely keep an eye for and to be a little bit leery of. I mean, if you're a Steeler fan and you're Keith Butler in this defense, I'd be really interested to see right now what Terrell Austin Sr. will dial up for the Steelers defense. Remember, he's been doing well with this team and obviously a lot more since the acquisition of Minka Fitzpatrick. So let's find out here. Let's also go to key number 3, attacking the red zone right now. Steelers, like I said, they are 27-43 with 63%. That ranks 12th, while the Bills are ranked 15th in scoring in the red zone, 29 for 48, over 60%. So you got like the Bills defense right now who defends the red zone in this contest right now. They are 17th, 30 of 49, while the Steelers are 8th. So I definitely do feel like if the Steelers got any red zone opportunities, pick them apart in that category right there. I don't think so. And then last but not least, dissect the Bills' run defense with a heavy dose of James Conner. Bills are 23rd in defending the run, giving up 1,512 yards for the year, averaging nearly 5 yards per attempt. I would expect right there to get James Conner a lot more involved. Hopefully he'll be able to provide a legit spark to this offense here, and we'll continue to see how this goes here. And that's all I got for the keys of the game. I definitely want to hear your thoughts to this contest right now. What do you guys think? What's your pulse right now? A scale 1 to 10 with this Steelers-Bills contest. Definitely something a lot more interesting as of late. The only thing I like about where it was the last few years, Steelers just need one game to be punched into the playoffs with some help from a pair of teams right now. And just continue to go back and scoreboard watch right now as we look at things right now going into the halftime for most games. Let's take a look at some of those contests going on right now. Titans got a 2-touchdown lead, 17-3 at the half. Chiefs take a 4-point lead over the Dolphins right now in that contest right now. As we take a look at, the highlights in that game, basically, as we are looking at, and right now, you got Patrick Mahomes who threw for 172 yards, completing 13 of 19 passes, 1 touchdown, but 2 picks right there. 2 picks in the game. So that's something to pay attention to right there. I mean, when you look at this season here, I mean, in this game, will turnovers be the story in that game, which could do the Chiefs in and kind of help the Steelers out too, if the Steelers are able to take care of business. Because you got the Miami Dolphins. They're second in league in takeaways with 21. They got 2 in this contest. That's something to watch out for, if you ask me. Tua Tagovailoa right now, he's completed 11 of 19 for 125 yards. And then when you also look at aside from that, too, they got 2 sacks in this game. First, the Chiefs. 2 sacks as well. And just continue to look at the running game right now. You got the Chiefs right now who got 61 yards on the ground, while the Dolphins, on the other hand, when you look at their ground game, you got 33 yards. And that's pretty much about it. So right now, get ready to count down for this game. Should be an exciting one right now. Here's the thing: the Steelers, they gotta be disciplined. They can't be being themselves right now. I really feel like. I mean, you got the undefeated season out the window. I always just said I'll continue to maintain this. You always want to make sure you continue to take care of business, set yourself up, locking up your division, and then hopefully you're able to clinch things a little bit earlier. It still may be a possibility where a lot of stakes may come down to the final game of the season. But remember, the Steelers clinched the AFC North with a win tonight and a Browns loss, or, the Steelers could just have back-to-back wins or back-to-back Browns losses. That will give the Steelers AFC North division title. When you think about it. Going into this contest here. So we'll continue to think about it right there for this, and that's pretty much about it. So it's going to be definitely a gut-wrenching time right now. Let's take a look at some other notes for this contest here. Going into this game right now. And right now, I will just say this for right now. The one interesting thing is going to be interesting to pay attention to, aside from this week's game, next weekend. Will the Steelers-Bengals game, the Monday night game, get flexed? I think that'll be an interesting call right there. Because you look at flex scheduling right now, games of the week, will the Steelers get bumped out of that contest right there? Will they get denied that opportunity to go for their 50th victory of Monday Night Football? I think that'll be a big thing right there. So it's very well possible they may decide to drop that to a day game, which I don't think I want to see, to be honest with you. But when you look at Week 15 coming up too, as far as what goes on with the division, aside from the Ravens going to Cleveland playing the Browns, you got the Ravens hosting the Jaguars, and the Browns going on the road against the Giants right now. The Giants are trying to hang on and wrap up a division in the next few games. May come down to the final wire right now. When you truly look at things, and they need about a combined magic number of 4 games right there in that contest. So the Steelers-Bengals, I'd be really interested to see. Because I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they put the Chiefs-Saints on Monday night. If they change that to a Monday Night Football game, drop the Steelers-Bengals game, the 3:25 p.m. game on Sunday. And that's all I got to say for this edition here of the Mass Steel Podcast. Once again, you guys can follow me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, at Prodigy Richey. You definitely follow me on Twitter for the Mass Steel Podcast, at Mass Steel CGR, at Mass Steel Nation on Instagram. Let's get ready for this game, get hyped up, and I'll catch you guys more than likely, if not tonight, tomorrow afternoon. We'll just recap the game with Stan Saber and the post-game show. I'll keep you guys posted if I'm going to do a post-game show tonight. As always, leave you. Don't be trolling, be rolling. Here we go, serious. Here we go. I gone.